Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and if you're too young to see 50 Shades Darker yet, good for you. You could check out The Space Between Us.
Tulsa, what's your favorite thing about Earth?
You are Gardner.
Peter Chelsom, the director of Hector and A Search for Happiness, and Hannah Montana, the movie, brings us this year's first big teen novel adaptation. Oh, there is no novel? This isn't based on a book? Well, that's strange. Going by the movie's premise, I would have sworn it was based on something. Like Passengers just a few weeks ago, The Space Between Us seems to be science fiction, but it's really not that much. And yes, I know Passengers is, even though it's more like a romance date movie, this one here is full romance. Teen romance. First love that will travel the stars and overcome all obstacles, even though it's really not that justified. But let's start with the premise, which is really high concept. We start the movie with a mission to Mars, but not any mission, as the astronauts are supposed to live there. The only thing that goes wrong is that the leader of their team is pregnant and nobody knew about it. Just landed on Mars after a long travel, she gives birth to a boy and then dies. Now there's another big problem. Since the pregnancy was under such new circumstances, zero gravity on their way there, the boy's body couldn't handle the gravity of Earth. Yes, that's the case, and it's okay, I bought it, so let's continue. So to avoid some big PR catastrophe, the big heads at the East Texas Space Program decide to tell nobody about it and let the boy grow up on Mars, and then 16 years later they decide maybe it's better to get him back to Earth anyway. In the meantime, Gardner, now grown up and played by Asa Butterfield, befriended a young girl on Earth via chat. He told her he has a disease that forces him to stay at his home, which is kind of right, only that he tells her his home is an apartment in New York. And the thing with this movie is that it's really not all that important that Gardner is from Mars. It's a little bit like a fish out of water story, but there's nothing really that new or creative about it. If he would have been the guy in the apartment in New York, sealed off from the outside world, with a few little changes, the movie could have played out exactly the same way. Yes, I get it, you wouldn't have those big ideas of love that conquers the whole galaxy, but come on, they just use it as a background for a completely ordinary plot. With this setting, there must be a far better picture hidden somewhere in the one we actually got. The movie tosses away some very interesting aspects or just simplifies them. What was Gardner doing 16 years on Mars? He has a bond with Carla, Gugino's character, but since he never met his real mother, I thought that bond must have been way stronger and deeper than it appeared in the movie. How did he meet the girl online? What was it like? The way Gardner looks forward to Earth and experiences it when he's there is nothing you wouldn't expect. The movie's going completely by the numbers, and normally I'm not the guy who predicts each and every step a movie takes, but this was so super obvious. Gardner meets Tulsa, that's the name of the girl. He tells her he's from Mars. Of course she didn't believe him, but he's not really making big efforts to change her mind. He's the naive one who just speaks his feelings. She's the one who hates the world, but really she doesn't. The Space Between Us is really corny, but come on, just look at the title. And of course, I'm not the target audience for this at all. For me, the movie was very boring and way too smooth. Normally, I'm emotionally involved pretty easily, but this was too shallow and neat. But I have to applaud Gary Oldman for his chameleon ability to completely disappear into a role. Oh, and one last thing, I like Britt Robertson, and she's totally fine, but I thought you could feel that she's already older and older looking than Asa Butterfield. She's actually 26 and should go for 17 in the movie, but it's just a very minor nitpick. In German I'd say, wie lange geht denn der Film noch?
That hurts my feelings.
I give The Space Between Us 5 out of 10. It's more like 5.1, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it. Like always, comment below, let me know what you think about The Space Between Us. And you can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like.